The massive crystalline hall of the Galactic Council sparkled under the light of 3 artificial suns. Anna Miller stood at the entrance, adjusting her formal diplomatic uniform one last time. Her brown hair was neatly tied back, and her green eyes reflected both nervousness and determination. As Earth's first ambassador to the Council, she carried humanity's hopes on her shoulders. "Remember your training, Ambassador," said Jack Thompson, her security officer. He stood slightly behind her, his military posture perfect in his black uniform. His presence always brought her comfort, though she never admitted it. The doors swung open silently, revealing hundreds of alien species seated in rising tiers around a central platform. Some floated in containment fields, others sat in specially designed chairs, and a few existed as pure energy forms. The diversity was breathtaking. Anna walked forward, her steps echoing in the sudden silence. The aliens watched her with multiple eyes, sensory organs, and scanning devices. She felt like a specimen under a microscope, but kept her diplomatic smile firmly in place. "We welcome Earth's representative," announced the council speaker, a tall being made of shifting crystal patterns. "Please take your position and present your credentials." As Anna moved to the central platform, movement caught her eye. A group of aliens with luminescent blue skin and elegant robes watched her intently. These were the Starborn, the most advanced species in known space. Their leader, Lord Blue, stood out with his intricate patterns of glowing markings. "Honorable Council," Anna began, her voice clear and steady. "I bring greetings from Earth and the human race. We are honored to join this ancient and respected assembly." A murmur ran through the chamber. Several species leaned forward with interest. The Starborn, in particular, seemed fascinated. Lord Blue's patterns brightened noticeably. As Anna continued her speech, she noticed different reactions among the aliens. Some showed clear approval, others curiosity, and a few displayed what she interpreted as attraction. The concept of human beauty was apparently not limited to Earth. After the formal presentation, various representatives approached her. They asked questions about Earth, human culture, and her personal achievements. Lord Blue waited until the others had spoken before approaching. "Ambassador Miller," he said, his voice like musical chimes, "your species shows remarkable potential. We would be interested in forming a closer alliance." Behind her, Jack shifted slightly. Anna maintained her diplomatic smile. "The Earth would be honored to discuss cooperation with all council members, Lord Blue." The Starborn leader's patterns flickered in what might have been amusement. "Of course. But perhaps we could discuss matters more privately." Before Anna could respond, representatives from other species joined them. The Vapor Collective, existing as intelligent gas clouds, swirled around her with interest. The Crystal Harmony, silicon-based beings, chimed their desire for human cultural exchange. Jack watched from his position, noting how each species tried to monopolize Anna's attention. His hand rested casually near his concealed weapon, though he knew he couldn't do much against beings who could manipulate matter itself. As the day progressed, it became clear that Anna had made an impression. The council chamber buzzed with discussions about humans, and particularly about their ambassador. The Starborn remained close, Lord Blue finding reasons to join every conversation Anna was part of. "A most successful first contact," the council speaker declared as the session ended. "We look forward to learning more about humanity through you, Ambassador Miller." Walking back to their quarters, Anna finally let her shoulders relax. "Well, that was intense," she said to Jack. "You did well," he replied simply, but his eyes showed pride. "Though I think you might have too many admirers now." Anna laughed softly. "Just wait until they learn humans aren't as impressive as they think. We're just ordinary people trying our best." Jack glanced at her, thinking how wrong she was. There was nothing ordinary about humans, or about her. But he kept that thought to himself as they walked through the alien corridors, unaware that this was just the beginning of a story that would change galactic society's view of humanity forever. Behind them, Lord Blue watched their departure, his pattern swirling with complex emotions. Humans were indeed fascinating, and he intended to learn everything about them, especially their intriguing ambassador. 2 weeks into her role at the Galactic Council, Anna found herself at the center of an unusual competition. Various alien species had begun showcasing their achievements, each trying to prove their superiority and their worthiness for a closer alliance with Earth. The Crystal Harmony created a stunning display in the main hall, transforming an entire wall into a living light show that played their species' history. Their crystalline bodies sparkled as they demonstrated their ability to reshape matter at will. "Impressive," Anna said diplomatically, while Jack stood guard nearby. "Your control over molecular structures is remarkable." The Vapor Collective went next, filling the chamber with colorful gases that formed complex patterns and told stories through chemical reactions. "We have mastered the very essence of transformation," they whispered in their misty voices. But it was the Starborn who put on the most magnificent display. Lord Blue commanded center stage, his luminescent skin glowing brighter than ever. With a wave of his hand, he created a miniature solar system from pure energy. "We have transcended physical limitations," Lord Blue announced, his patterns shifting hypnotically. "Our species can reshape reality itself. Surely, Ambassador, you see the benefits of a closer partnership with us." Jack noticed how Lord Blue always positioned himself near Anna, how his energy patterns would sync with her movements. The security officer kept his face neutral, but his jaw tightened slightly. The demonstrations continued through the day. The machine minds showed off their virtual worlds. The quantum folk displayed their mastery of probability manipulation. Each species tried to outdo the others, their displays growing more elaborate. During a brief break, Anna retreated to a quiet corner with Jack. "This is getting out of hand," she whispered. "They're treating this like some sort of courtship ritual." "That's exactly what it is," Jack replied quietly. "They're competing for Earth's attention. And yours." Before Anna could respond, Lord Blue appeared beside them, his movements silent and graceful. "Ambassador, might I show you our latest achievement? We've created a way to traverse parallel dimensions." Jack watched as Anna was led away, noting how the other aliens tracked her movements. The Starborn leader was clearly the frontrunner in this competition, his species' technological advances far surpassing the others. Later that day, during the evening reception, the competition took a more personal turn. The aliens began sharing their personal accomplishments, their positions of power, their influence in galactic politics. "I oversee 1,000 star systems," one Crystal Harmony elder chimed. "Our collective spans 3 galaxies," the Vapor Collective representatives whispered. Lord Blue simply stood nearby, his quiet confidence speaking volumes about his species' dominance of galactic civilization. His patterns created beautiful displays that drew every eye in the room. Anna handled it all with diplomatic grace, but Jack could see the strain in her smile. When she finally excused herself for the day, multiple aliens tried to escort her to her quarters. "The ambassador already has an escort," Jack stated firmly, stepping forward. His tone left no room for argument, even from beings who could reshape reality. Walking back, Anna let out a long breath. "Thank you," she said to Jack. "I needed that." He nodded, understanding she meant more than just the escort. His presence had been her anchor throughout the increasingly bizarre displays of alien power and wealth. In their wake, the alien representatives gathered to discuss the day's events. They noted how the human ambassador seemed unimpressed by their displays of power. More concerning to them was how often her eyes drifted to her security officer during the demonstrations. "Perhaps we need to be more direct in our proposals," Lord Blue mused, his patterns showing complex calculations. "Humans might not understand the honor we're offering them." The other aliens agreed, already planning greater displays for the next day. None of them noticed how their competition was pushing Anna further away, or how the simple interactions between her and Jack carried more weight than all their grand demonstrations combined. The stage was set for even more elaborate displays of alien superiority, and for an unexpected lesson in what truly mattered in relationships across the stars. The grand reception hall of the Galactic Council buzzed with anticipation. After a month of increasingly elaborate displays from various alien species, everyone expected Earth's ambassador to finally announce a preferred alliance. The hall itself had been decorated with representations of all major species' achievements, creating a dazzling display of power and technology. Anna stood at the central podium, looking calm despite the tension in the room. Jack maintained his position slightly behind her, his face professional but alert. The assembled aliens watched with various sensory organs, all focused intently on the human ambassador. Lord Blue's patterns glowed with confidence as he stood among the starborn delegation. After all, his species had demonstrated abilities that bordered on godlike. The other aliens, while hopeful, seemed to accept that the starborn were the obvious choice for Earth's primary alliance. Honored members of the Council, Anna began, her voice clear and steady. Over the past month, I have witnessed incredible displays of advancement and power from all species present. Your achievements are truly remarkable. The aliens preened at her words, their various forms showing signs of pleasure and pride. However, she continued, today I need to address something personal that affects these diplomatic relations. The chamber grew absolutely still. Even the Vapor Collective stopped their usual swirling. I wish to formally announce my relationship with Security Officer Jack Thompson. For 3 heartbeats, there was complete silence. Then the chamber erupted in a chaos of reactions. The crystal harmony shattered and reformed in shock. The Vapor Collective condensed into stunned droplets. The machine minds crashed and had to reboot. Lord Blue's patterns turned sharp and jagged, his voice cutting through the noise. This is unprecedented. Surely you jest, Ambassador Miller. Anna stood firm, her hand finding Jack's as he stepped forward to stand beside her. I do not. Jack and I have developed feelings for each other over our time working together. As per Earth's diplomatic protocols, we are declaring this relationship officially. But he is. Lord Blue's patterns flickered in disbelief. He is merely a security officer. We offer you mastery over time and space itself. Other aliens joined in, their voices creating a cacophony of confusion and outrage. Our collective spans galaxies. We can reshape reality. We offer technological advancement beyond imagination. Anna raised her hand for silence. I understand your confusion. But on Earth, relationships are not about power or status. They're about connection, understanding, and love. Love. The word rippled through the alien delegations like a strange concept they couldn't quite grasp. Yes, love, Anna confirmed. Jack has stood by my side not because of power or technology, but because of who he is. He supports me, understands me, and cares for me as a person, not as a political opportunity. The aliens fell into confused discussions among themselves. Lord Blue stepped forward, his patterns now showing complex calculations and confusion. You would choose a simple human over beings who can manipulate the fabric of reality, he asked, genuine bewilderment in his musical voice. I choose someone who sees me for who I am, Anna replied firmly, not what I represent or what advantage I might bring. Jack squeezed her hand gently, his presence steady and reassuring beside her. The council speaker rose, its crystalline form reflecting the chamber's lights. This is unexpected. We will need time to process this development and its implications for diplomatic relations. As the chamber descended into chaos again, Anna and Jack left the podium together, walking tall despite the storm of reactions around them. Some aliens tracked them with disapproval, others with confusion, and a few with the first glimmer of curiosity. Well, Jack said quietly as they exited the chamber, that went about as expected. Anna managed a small smile. Did you see Lord Blue's patterns? I think we broke his understanding of the universe. They'll either learn from this or they won't, Jack replied. But I'm glad we're not hiding anymore. Behind them, The council chamber continued to buzz with shocked discussions. The aliens, for all their advanced technology and power, found themselves faced with a concept they couldn't quite comprehend: the idea that love could outweigh all their impressive displays of superiority. The diplomatic crisis had just begun. The days following Anna's announcement saw a flurry of alien activity. The Galactic Council, still reeling from the shock, had begun an intensive investigation into Jack Thompson's background. They were determined to understand what made this simple security officer special enough to be chosen over their most advanced species. In the main data chamber, Lord Blue and representatives from other species pored over Earth's military records that had been part of their initial diplomatic exchange. The holographic displays showed Jack's service history in vivid detail. Another battle record, one of the Crystal Harmony, announced, their form shimmering with interest. Thompson's unit was surrounded by enemy forces. His actions saved 37 human lives. The aliens watched the recreation of events. Jack had led a dangerous rescue mission, drawing enemy fire to allow civilians to escape. Despite being wounded, he'd gone back 3 times to ensure no one was left behind. Curious, Lord Blue mused, his patterns shifting thoughtfully. He consistently puts himself at risk for others with no apparent gain. The Vapor Collective swirled around another display. Medical records show severe injuries from protecting fellow soldiers. He refused evacuation until others were safe. More records appeared, showing a pattern that made the aliens pause. Jack had received multiple commendations, not for killing enemies or winning battles, but for saving lives. There were dozens of instances where he put himself in danger to protect others. Look at this psychological evaluation, the machine minds projected. It notes his exceptional empathy and dedication to protecting those in his care. Lord Blue moved closer to the display, his patterns now showing intense concentration. He appears to have something we hadn't considered valuable: a consistent record of self-sacrifice for others. The investigation continued, revealing more layers to Jack's character. He'd spent his leave time helping in disaster zones. After leaving active duty, he'd chosen diplomatic security specifically to continue protecting others. There is a pattern here, the council speaker observed. This human repeatedly chooses to help others at personal cost. Our species tend to act for personal or collective gain. This is different. The aliens discovered records of Jack's interactions with Anna during their diplomatic missions. Small moments caught on security feeds showed him quietly supporting her during difficult negotiations, standing guard during late-night preparation sessions, always alert but never intrusive. See how he watches the room, a Crystal Harmony noted. He's constantly calculating threats, positioning himself to protect her. But it's more than physical protection, Lord Blue realized, his patterns shifting to show new understanding. He provides emotional support as well. Look at their interactions. The feeds showed subtle moments: a reassuring glance before difficult meetings, a steady presence during stressful situations, small gestures of support that had nothing to do with his official duties. This explains the ambassador's unusual choice, the Vapor Collective whispered. She values his constant support and protection over our displays of power. Lord Blue's patterns swirled with complex emotions. We offered her control over the forces of nature. He offers her something else: unwavering dedication and care. The council chamber grew quiet as the aliens processed this revelation. They had competed with grand displays of technology and power, while Jack had simply been there, steady and supportive, day after day. Perhaps, the council speaker suggested, we should observe more human relationships. We may have misunderstood what they value. Later that day, when Jack and Anna walked through the council halls, they noticed the aliens watching them differently. The previous anger and confusion had been replaced by something new: curiosity. They've been going through your service records, Anna told Jack quietly. I think they're starting to understand. Jack shrugged slightly. They can look all they want. I am what I am. Lord Blue, watching them pass, noticed how Jack subtly positioned himself between Anna and a newly installed energy conduit, a protective instinct so ingrained he probably didn't even realize he was doing it. The Starborn leader's patterns shifted to show a new emotion: respect. They had offered Anna the power to reshape reality, but Jack offered her something they were only beginning to understand: a love strong enough to sacrifice everything for another's well-being. The investigation had revealed depths that made the aliens question their own assumptions about power and relationships. The Galactic Council had entered a new phase of their study of humans. After discovering Jack's background, the aliens began observing human relationships with intense interest. The council hall had been transformed into a viewing chamber where they watched recordings from Earth's public broadcasts, news, and historical archives. Lord Blue stood transfixed as images played across the massive screens. Parents rushing into danger to save children. Friends donating organs to save each other. Strangers helping during disasters. Each scene showed humans putting others before themselves. "These cannot all be like Officer Thompson," one of the Crystal Harmony chimed. "Yet we see this behavior repeatedly." The Vapor Collective swirled thoughtfully around the displays. "Look at their pair bonding rituals. They choose partners based on emotional connections rather than genetic or technological superiority." More scenes played out. Elderly couples caring for each other, young lovers facing family disapproval, people choosing humble but meaningful relationships over wealth and status. The aliens watched, fascinated, as they began to see a pattern. Ambassador Miller's choice reflects her species' values. Lord Blue realized, his patterns showing deepening understanding. Humans value emotional bonds over power. While the aliens studied, Anna and Jack were enjoying a rare quiet moment in the diplomatic garden. They sat on a bench, watching the artificial stars overhead, unaware they were being observed by several alien species. "You don't regret your choice?" Jack asked quietly. "They could have given you anything." Anna smiled, leaning against him. "They could give me the universe, but they couldn't give me this." She took his hand. "This is real. This matters." The observing aliens noted how their energy patterns synchronized, something they'd missed before but now recognized as significant. Later that day, during a council session, the aliens began sharing their findings. Humans form deep emotional connections. The machine minds projected. These bonds drive them to extraordinary achievements, not for power, but for each other. The Crystal Harmony added, "Their strength comes not from individual superiority, but from their connections to others." Lord Blue stepped forward, his patterns showing new wisdom. "We offered Ambassador Miller power over the cosmos. Officer Thompson offers her something our species had dismissed: unconditional support and devotion." The council speaker rose. "We have been measuring humans by our standards. Perhaps we should have been learning from theirs." As if to prove their point, an emergency alarm sounded in a nearby research lab. A containment field was failing, threatening to release dangerous radiation. Without hesitation, several humans from the Earth delegation rushed to help evacuate the alien researchers, disregarding their own safety. The aliens watched in amazement as these lesser beings worked together seamlessly to protect others. Jack organized the evacuation while Anna coordinated with alien technical teams to stabilize the field. "See how they protect even those who dismissed them," the Vapor Collective observed. "They don't calculate gain or advantage." After the crisis passed, Lord Blue approached Anna and Jack. His patterns showed a new pattern the humans had never seen before. "We are beginning to understand," he said softly. "Your species possesses something we had forgotten to value, something more powerful than all our technological achievements." Anna smiled warmly. "Love isn't about power, Lord Blue. It's about connection, trust, and being there for each other." The Starborn leader's patterns shifted thoughtfully. Perhaps we have much to learn from humans after all." As word spread through the council, attitudes began to shift. The aliens stopped viewing humans as primitive beings who had made an illogical choice. Instead, they began to see them as creatures who had mastered something the advanced species had overlooked: the power of emotional bonds, and selfless love. We offered her galaxies, a crystal harmony observed to Lord Blue, watching Anna and Jack leave the council chamber that evening. He offered her his heart. We are only now beginning to understand which gift was greater. The aliens had started their investigation to understand one human's choice. They ended up discovering something far more profound about humanity itself. The Galactic Council's main chamber erupted in chaos as emergency alarms blared through the station. A catastrophic failure in the central power core threatened to destroy the entire diplomatic complex. Alien representatives rushed in all directions, their usual calm replaced by panic. The containment fields are failing. The Crystal Harmony's voices rang out in alarm. The core will go critical in 10 minutes. Lord Blue's patterns flashed urgent warnings as he coordinated with other species. The automated systems aren't responding. We can't shut it down remotely. Anna stood at the command center, quickly assessing the situation. The core's malfunction would create an explosion that could vaporize everyone in the station. She watched as various alien species attempted to solve the crisis with their advanced technology, but nothing seemed to work. The manual override, Jack said suddenly, studying the emergency schematics. Someone needs to get to the core and activate it directly. Impossible, one of the machine minds projected. The radiation levels are already lethal. No living being could survive long enough to reach the controls. Jack's face set in a determined expression that Anna knew all too well. The human body can withstand about 3 minutes of that radiation. The override takes 40 seconds to activate. I can make it. No. Anna grabbed his arm. You'll die. If nobody does this, everyone dies. He replied quietly, touching her face gently. You know I have to try. Lord Blue's patterns shifted rapidly. This is madness. You cannot sacrifice yourself. But Jack was already moving. He grabbed a radiation suit from the emergency station, knowing it would only provide minimal protection. The aliens watched in disbelief as he prepared to enter the core chamber. 7 minutes to critical. The Vapor Collective swirled in agitation. Anna caught Jack before he entered the first airlock. Come back to me, she whispered, tears in her eyes. He gave her a small smile. Always try to. The aliens watched on their monitors as Jack fought his way through increasingly dangerous radiation levels. The suit's sensors showed his vital signs deteriorating rapidly, but he kept moving. Several security barriers had to be bypassed manually, each one costing precious seconds and exposing him to more radiation. His cellular structure is breaking down, the machine minds reported. He cannot survive this. Lord Blue moved to stand beside Anna, his patterns showing both concern and amazement. Why does he continue? The damage is irreversible. Because that's who he is, Anna replied, her eyes fixed on the monitor. He'll give everything to save others. In the core chamber, Jack finally reached the override controls. His hand shook as radiation poisoning set in, but his military training helped him stay focused. The sequence had to be perfect. One mistake would trigger an immediate meltdown. 2 minutes to critical. The aliens watched in stunned silence as Jack, barely conscious, input the final sequence. The core began powering down, its deadly energy dispersing safely into containment vessels. He did it. The Crystal Harmony chimed in awe. He actually did it. But Jack had collapsed beside the controls. Emergency teams rushed in, led by Anna herself, despite the lingering radiation. The aliens were shocked to see other humans running in behind her, all risking radiation exposure to save their companion. They got him to the medical bay where both human and alien doctors worked desperately to save him. The aliens offered their most advanced healing technologies, now understanding the true value of this human life. Hours later, Jack lay stabilized but critical in a specialized healing chamber. Anna hadn't left his side. The aliens observed how other humans from the Earth delegation took turns supporting her, bringing food, offering comfort. Lord Blue entered the medical bay, his patterns gentle. "We didn't understand before," he said softly to Anna. "We thought power was everything. But this sacrifice, this love, it is stronger than any technology we possess." The crisis had shown the aliens something their advanced civilizations had never imagined. The incredible strength that came not from technology or evolution, but from the human heart's capacity for love and sacrifice. As Jack fought for his life in the healing chamber, the entire Galactic Council gained a new understanding of what true power really meant. 1 month after the core incident, the Galactic Council gathered for a special session. The Grand Chamber looked different. The displays of technological power had been replaced with artworks showing scenes of connection and cooperation between species. Jack stood beside Anna at the central podium, still pale but recovered thanks to the combined efforts of human and alien medical science. The aliens had insisted on using their most advanced healing technologies to save him, working alongside human doctors in an unprecedented collaboration. Lord Blue stepped forward, his patterns showing new, complex emotions the humans had never seen before. The Galactic Council has called this session to formally acknowledge our error in judgment regarding humanity. The chamber grew quiet as the Starborn leader continued. We measured worth by technological advancement and evolutionary superiority. We were wrong. The Crystal Harmony chimed in agreement. Officer Thompson's sacrifice showed us a different kind of power, one we had forgotten or never known. Through him, we learned that true strength lies not in domination or achievement, the Vapor Collective added, but in the willingness to give everything for others. Anna held Jack's hand tightly as Lord Blue approached them. His patterns now showed something close to human humility. "Ambassador Miller," he said, "we owe you an apology. We questioned your choice, unable to see what you saw so clearly." Officer Thompson's actions proved that the human capacity for love and sacrifice is more powerful than all our advanced technologies combined. The council speaker rose, its crystalline form gleaming. "From this day forward, the Galactic Council recognizes humanity as equals, not for their technological advancement, but for their mastery of something far more important, the power of emotional bonds and selfless love." Other alien representatives came forward, each acknowledging their previous misunderstanding. The machine minds projected images of human acts of sacrifice and love they had collected, now seen with new appreciation. The Crystal Harmony performed a special tribute, their forms creating scenes from human history showing courage and devotion. "We have begun studying human relationships more deeply," Lord Blue announced. "We hope to learn from your species, to rediscover what we lost in our pursuit of technological perfection." Jack, still not entirely comfortable with the tension, spoke quietly to Anna. "They're making too much of this. Anyone would have done the same." "That's exactly what they're starting to understand," she whispered back. "What seems natural to us is extraordinary to them." The council proceeded to announce new initiatives for human-alien cooperation, focusing not just on technology exchange, but on cultural understanding. Several species requested human teachers to help them understand concepts of emotional connection and selfless love. Lord Blue's patterns shifted to show determination. The Starborn pledged to use our advanced technology not just for power, but for protection and support of others, as humans have shown us. The ceremony concluded with a new tradition: aliens and humans sharing stories of connection and sacrifice from their various cultures. The chamber filled with tales of love, courage, and devotion from across the galaxy. As the formal session ended, Anna and Jack prepared to leave, but Lord Blue stopped them one last time. "I once offered you power over the cosmos," he said to Anna, "but you already possessed something greater, the power to love so deeply that it changes those around you. We thank you both for teaching us this lesson." Walking back to their quarters, Jack and Anna passed aliens who now looked at them with respect rather than condescension. Several nodded in greeting, their various forms showing new patterns of understanding. "Well," Jack said with a small smile, "I guess nearly dying helped improve diplomatic relations." Anna elbowed him gently. "Just don't make a habit of it." though I think you've permanently changed how they see humans. They needed to see that real power isn't about control or technology, he replied. It's about what we're willing to do for each other. As they walked away, Lord Blue watched them, his patterns showing contentment. The Galactic Council had gained more than just understanding. They had discovered a new way of seeing the universe through the lens of human love and sacrifice. The aliens had started by questioning why she chose a human. They ended by understanding that her choice had always been the wisest one of all.